Welcome to the Fall 2019 Missouri Western State University Graduate School Hooding Ceremony. Please stand and join us in singing the National Anthem. Please be seated. Good evening and welcome again to Missouri Western State University Graduate School Hooding Ceremony for the fall class of 2019. I'm Dr. Douglas Davenport. I'm the Provost and Vice President for Academic Affairs. I'd like to extend a special welcome to all of our master's degree and certificate graduates and their families and friends. I'm very sorry to report to you that Dr. Susan Bashinsky, who serves as the interim dean of the graduate school, is unable to attend tonight. I can tell you from a conversation I had with her just a couple of hours ago that it is very sad that she could not join us. It was a family medical emergency. She wishes that she could be here, and she wishes our graduates the absolute best. This ceremony is held very near and dear to her heart. It is now my honor to introduce Matthew J. Wilson, President of Missouri Western State University, who will introduce the platform party.
Good evening. It's a distinct honor to be here to celebrate our graduates. Tonight, we are joined by esteemed faculty, administrators, staff. Here on the platform stage, I would like to introduce Dr. James Okapal, Professor and Chairperson of the Departments of History and Geography and Philosophy and Religion. Dr. Okapal will serve as tonight's evening announcer. Ms. Debby Jeffries, a graduate of Missouri Western, who will be our speaker for this evening. Dr. Michael Ducey, Professor and Chairperson of the Department of Chemistry, and Dr. Douglas Davenport, Provost and Vice President for Academic Affairs. If you could please join me in giving all of these individuals a warm round of applause. Dr. Davenport.
Today, we acknowledge the accomplishments of 51 graduate students who will be receiving their master's degree or graduate certificate at tomorrow's commencement ceremony. This group includes 31 women and 20 men. Most come from Missouri, but they also come from Arizona, Florida, Iowa, Kansas, and Oklahoma. Some graduating students have crossed the globe to come to St. Joseph from countries including India, Iran, Japan, and South Korea. Having such a diverse population of students from across the country and around the world is a great benefit to all of our students on campus and for everyone who works here at Missouri Western. In the fall of 2019, graduates in attendance this evening, we have a few graduates from previous semesters who were unable to attend their hooding ceremonies previously, but wanted to take part in this special event. And we welcome all of you and your families and friends who are here with you. We're so glad that you could come and join us to celebrate tonight. The graduates here this evening include individuals who have excelled in their academic studies. In fact, the average GPA for our graduates is 3.78, so congratulations to you all. In this group of students are individuals who have presented their research or participated in conferences on the regional, national, and international stages. They have volunteered countless hours of service in the community and across the region. They've worked as interns. They have worked in local and regional employers, participated in university student organizations. They have served, of course, also as invaluable employees of our university, in many cases in offices across campus, as well as graduate assistants or athletic coaches. Through their many talents and skills, members of this graduating class have contributed much to Missouri Western State University. For this, we offer a sincere thank you for each of you. This hooding ceremony represents a rite of passage for master's degree candidates that dates back to the 12th century. Through your classes, projects, internships, and theses, you have become masters in your respective disciplines. This is what the hood you will receive tonight represents. Now, only 30% of the population earns a bachelor's degree, and less than 9% of the population earns a master's degree, which means that you are part of a very select group. And as you have completed your academic studies, you have been transformed from students to colleagues and peers. So we salute and congratulate all of you receiving graduate degrees, and we look forward to watching your ongoing contributions and accomplishments. The students seated here have made many sacrifices to earn their graduate degrees, and many of these graduating students have had to balance their classes, projects, internships, and research with jobs in their personal and family lives. In many cases, they have had to miss some special events or time with family or friends in order to focus on the academic pursuits. And there's just no doubt that being a successful graduate is tremendously challenging, and you, in the audience, have worked incredibly hard to help them achieve their goals. I believe most, if not all, of tonight's graduate degree recipients would agree with me that without your support, they just wouldn't be here tonight. So before we proceed with the remainder of the official ceremony, we want to recognize your very important contributions to this event. So, first of all, will those of you who have a parent graduating tonight, would you please stand if you have a parent graduating tonight? All right. You may be seated. Would those of you who have a spouse, partner, or significant other graduating, would you please stand? What of those of you who have a son or daughter who are graduating? How about those? Would you stand, please? Wow. And would we happen to have any who have a grandson or granddaughter who are graduating? Very good, very good. Thank you. Well, finally, we need to recognize one last group, and that is the Missouri Western State University faculty who have joined us tonight. Missouri Western takes great pride in knowing that we have many outstanding faculty members. because it is the faculty who comprise the heart and soul of any university. Faculty members' contributions to the transformations that take place in all of our students should not be underestimated. And it is with the greatest respect that I would ask all faculty members in attendance to stand so that we may recognize your very important contributions to the success of these graduates. Thank you. You may be seated.
It's my distinct pleasure to introduce this evening's speaker. Debby Jeffries is a two-time graduate of Missouri Western, earning her bachelor's degree in biochemistry and molecular biology in 2007, and her Master of Applied Science chemistry degree in 2009. She was, in fact, among the first group of students to graduate with a master's degree from Missouri Western. We were talking earlier, there were 14 in that first group, and Debby was one of those. I first met Debby when she enrolled in my lecture section of General Chemistry 1 in the fall of 2003, and could immediately see her passion for science and teaching, as well as her innate leadership qualities. I'm pleased to say that once Debby arrived on this campus, she never left and has contributed to the education and success of thousands of students and numerous programs along the way. Following graduation, Debby immediately put her scientific and leadership skills to use, taking a position as the first laboratory manager at the university's then newly opened Science and Technology Incubator. In this role, she was instrumental in getting that venture off the ground and serving the needs of entrepreneurial scientists and engineers across our region. In 2015, Debby came back across the highway as a full-time faculty member in the Department of Chemistry, serving as the director of our dual enrollment program. And in this role, she has grown that program to serve nearly 250 students per year in 30 different participating high schools across Northwest Missouri and Northeast Kansas. At this point, I should turn the podium over to Debby so she can tell you her story in her own words. Please help me in welcoming tonight's speaker, Debby Jeffries.
Thank you, Dr. Ducey. And thank you to the Graduate Council for allowing me this fantastic opportunity to talk to you guys tonight. First things first, though, congratulations! You did it, you made it, and you're a new member of the Masters family here. I'm truly honored to have been chosen to talk to you. When Steve Lorimer had first asked me if I would consider speaking this evening, I kind of hesitated a bit. As you'll soon find out, I'm not the most eloquent public speaker. I still stammer and blush, but I'm going to give this a go. I really wondered when they asked me, what could I offer to you? What kind of wise advice or profound musings would I be able to offer on such an important day for you? Because I know it was a very important day for me when I received my master's degree and my hood. But I had to remember that a very wise man once told me, shortly after I set foot on this campus, that I should tell my story. Your research presentation is your story. Get up there and tell your story. So that's what I'm going to do tonight. I'm going to tell you my story because I think that very soon you're going to follow in those same footsteps and you're going to have a similar story. When I first came here, I had an associate's degree in my hand. And I was a scared 43-year-old ex-factory worker. One thing I knew for certain was that I didn't want to work in a factory again. I could, but I didn't want to. I worked in a food manufacturing facility making Cheez-Its for almost 17 years, and I had just decided that was enough of that. I wanted to do something more. My kids were grown, my grandkids were going off to school, and this was going to be the next step for me. I realized, though, pretty quickly that I was going to be competing with a lot of very bright, young, fresh minds as I went through this process, and that I need to do something different because I don't want to start on the bottom rung of the ladder. And my advisor, Mike Ducey back here, my advisor said, Do things that set you apart from the crowd. And so I set out to do that. So during my time as an undergraduate, I did things like participated in Alchemist Club. I was a club member. We did all sorts of activities and events in the community. And I got to meet people. I got to meet business people and industry people and government people. And all that networking eventually paid off. I went for the ACS certified degree, which is a little step higher in biochemistry, molecular biology, excuse me. Took an extra 2 years to do that, but I finally got that degree. I participated in a research project, again with Mike Ducey. I presented my research. I went to conferences. I did an internship. I did all those things that you've heard other people up here tonight already talk about. And all those things were applied learning. I did it outside of the classroom, though. It wasn't in the classroom setting, but it was applied learning. It was starting to build that network that I was going to need once I was ready to go out into the workforce. Once I went into the master's program, I was awarded a graduate assistantship. And in that graduate assistantship, I started teaching. I had been a laboratory mentor and teaching assistant in the laboratory. And so I thought, well, this graduate assistantship, this is going to take me to that next little level. And I still really wasn't certain yet that I was going to be a teacher, but I knew that I could at least teach laboratories out there. So I did that for the 2 years while I was in the program. I continued participating in events and activities, meeting people, doing research, presenting. And then finally, 2 months before graduation, another gentleman who's a faculty member here, Dr. Gary Clack, was the president and CEO at the Institute for Industrial and Applied Life Sciences across the highway at the Kit Bond Incubator. And he took a chance on me and hired me as an intern. A couple of months later, he promoted me to a part-time employee, and then shortly after that, to laboratory manager. In that role, I got to put to use all those things I had done in my coursework. Inside the classroom, we did things like industrial chemistry and chemical safety and management and quality assurance, chemistry for innovation, managerial economics, professional and organizational communication, and organizational theory. All those things that you really need to have when you want to go out and do something above that entry level, something that you need to set yourself apart to give you that leg up to make that next step. Along the way in those classes, I learned that I can do whatever I want to do. I just have to figure out how to get to where I want to be. And so in my time at the incubator, managing that laboratory, I did things like formulate and scale up of personal care products. I didn't have a class for that. I did lab safety audits. Now, I did have a class for that one. I also got to do things like work with regulatory aspects of pharmaceutical and other industries, things like GMP, GLP, GCP, all those good practices that you like to see. In the Chemistry for Innovation class, we talked about intellectual property, and we read a lot of patents. Ben Caldwell's no longer at the university, but I was never so sick of reading patents in my life as I was when Ben Caldwell got done with us. We had to break down and critique all these things in the patent. The one thing I got from that was, in my tenure at the incubator, I was able to help an inventor, an entrepreneur, write a patent that went to the patent office and through several steps of the patent office. We didn't hire an attorney. It was he and I. He had a high school education, and I had a Missouri Western master's. The attorney that we finally hired, when we got far enough that we thought we needed to have an attorney, the attorney said, "Who wrote this?" And I said, "We did." He said, "How did you do that? How did you do that? How did you write a 77-page patent application?" I said, "Chalk it all up to Missouri Western's Master of Applied Science degree." Because that's the kind of stuff I learned in those classes. If you don't know how to do something, go figure it out. And that's what you guys are going to do when you leave here. You're going to go figure it out. whatever it is. Whatever it is. And you're going to go do it with the grace and elegance of any other Missouri Western student. Okay? I really hope that your experiences at Missouri Western, applied learning and otherwise, have been as rich as my own. I've worn many hats on this campus, from student. I was the first graduate student member of the SGA. So I was a student senator for a year. I helped form the first graduate student organization. Our class was the first of the master's students to come along, so we got to pave the way for everybody that comes after. This whole journey, since they've asked me to do this, has led me to do a lot of soul searching and a lot of thinking about my own hooding ceremony and the experiences I've had, the places I've went, the things I've done. And let me tell you what I remember about my hooding ceremony. It was much different than this. It was during the graduation commencement exercises, and they lined us up on the stage, and we got hooded on the stage right during the graduation ceremony. I remember carrying the Graduate Studies banner that's behind me now into the gym and worrying that I was going to trip or drop it somewhere along the way. I'm a little clumsy that way. After that, it's a blur until I actually walked onto the stage and formed that line with the other master's graduates. And I think there were about 11 chemistry and 3 computer science students at that point. And I do remember quite clearly the exact moment that that hood was placed over my head. And I felt it lay on my shoulders. And it was something different. I'd worn the cap and gown many times before that, but this was something completely different when they gave me this hood. I remember the weight of it hanging down my back as I walked off the stage. What I don't remember is who spoke or what they said. I don't expect any of you to remember a single thing that I've said up here, but I do want you to remember one thing, that wherever you go, and whatever you do it like a griffin, okay? And remember that now you're a part of a bigger family, and I'm the mother hen in that family, and there's something that these sleeves are good for. Congratulations and welcome to the club. Thank you very much.
Debbie, thank you so much for what you've shared. And it is my pleasure always to see Debbie's smiling face as she's around. I must say this week we had the unveiling of the Griffin Mobile Lab, and Debbie played an instrumental part in the retrofitting of that bus to be used in our community. And so you never know what you're going to do with your degree, and she's a shining example of that. And we're grateful that you are a Missouri Western graduate. And at this time, we will present the candidates who will be receiving a master's degree or graduate certificate. Graduate certificate recipients will receive a stole signifying their achievements. Graduates who have earned a master's degree will receive a hood, which represents the attainment of that degree in an age-old tradition. The master's degree is the highest non-honorary academic degree awarded by Missouri Western State University. The interior silk lining of the hood displays the colors of Missouri Western State University. The opening of the hood is trimmed in velvet in the color representing the student's academic field. Assisting with the hoods will be faculty members from each graduate's master's degree program. Will the candidates for master's degree and graduate certificates please rise? These students have met all the requirements of the Missouri Western faculty and the Board of Governors for the following graduate degrees and certificates: Post-Baccalaureate Certificate, Master of Applied Science, Master of Applied Science in Assessment, Master of Business Administration, Master of Information Management, Master of Science, Master of Science in Nursing.
Will the candidate Will the candidates for graduate certificates and master's degrees please come forward? Will the respective faculty members please take their places with the students? Lori K. Stark, Master of Applied Science and Assessment, teaching English to speakers of other languages. Jennifer Jean Tansey, Master of Applied Science and Assessment, teaching English to speakers of other languages. Phoebe Rose Pirtle, Master of Applied Science and Assessment, teaching English to speakers of other languages. Rachel Marie Lawler, Master of Applied Science and Assessment, Autism Spectrum Disorder. Mariah K. Maudlin, Master of Applied Science Assessment, K through 12 Cross-Categorical Special Education. Joseph Anthony Zobek, Master of Applied Science, Industrial Life Science. Amanda Lee Sullivan, Master of Applied Science, Industrial Life Science. Sai Tarun Kumar Kutakonda, Master of Applied Science, Industrial Life Science. Neil P. Patel, Master of Science, Cybersecurity. Mohammed Salimi, Master of Applied Science, Information Technology Assurance Administration. Holly Autumn Stiegel, Master of Applied Science, Forensic Investigations. Trevor Anthony James Bonifaci, Master of Applied Science, Sports and Fitness Management. Benjamin Leslie Dodson, Master of Applied Science, Sports and Fitness Management. Kellen David Richards, Master of Applied Science, Sports Fitness Management. Yuko Yamaoka, Master of Applied Science, Sports and Fitness Management. Stephanie Elizabeth Lowe, Post-Baccalaureate Certificate, Technical Communication. Amy Lynn Babcock, Master of Science in Nursing, Nurse Educator. Denise Renee Norton, Master of Science in Nursing, Nurse Educator. Ashley Brianna Pringle, Master of Science in Nursing, Healthcare Leadership. Ashton Ann Curry, Master of Science in Nursing, Nurse Educator. Katie Dawn Cooper, Master of Science in Nursing, Nurse Educator. Anastasia Joanna Amos, Master of Science in Nursing, Healthcare Leadership. Angela Marie Britton, Master of Science in Nursing, Healthcare Leadership. Nicole Lynn Decker, Master of Science in Nursing, Healthcare Leadership. Atanis Isabel Mena, Master of Science in Nursing, Healthcare Leadership. Sarah Beth Batriol, Master of Business Administration, Enterprise Resource Planning. Tiffany Renee Reynolds, Master of Business Administration, Enterprise Resource Planning. Erin Swearigan, Master of Business Administration, Enterprise Resource Planning. James Thon Alir, Master of Business Administration, General Business. Shayna Rena Spooner, Master of Business Administration, General Business. Carson Bland Myers, Master of Business Administration, General Business. Sean Anthony Higley, Master of Business Administration, General Business. Miley Catherine Lanham, Master of Business Administration, General Business. Kim Lau, Master of Business Administration, General Business. Kristen Nicole Leibel, Master of Business Administration, General Business. Cheyenne Nicole Marison, Master of Business Administration, General Business. Christopher Joseph Olinger, Master of Business Administration, General Business. Jacob Matthew Robertson, Master of Business Administration, General Business. Connor Brian Samanis, Master of Business Administration, General Business. Desiree M. Walgren, Master of Business Administration, General Business.
I'm going to ask President Wilson to join me for his closing remarks.
What a wonderful evening to be able to celebrate with each one of you on the eve of the official commencement tomorrow. I have an opportunity to share a few closing remarks. Earlier this week, I was in Jefferson City meeting with leaders of higher education and different politicians on behalf of Missouri Western State University. And I was thinking about, what I might share with you graduates this evening. So, when you're not sure exactly what to do, where do you turn? YouTube. Now, I say that half jokingly because I did have an idea of what I wanted to share. And it was something that I learned about a while ago. And I just wanted to review what I had seen a long time ago. There's a very famous social science experiment by Daniel J. Simons and Christopher Chabris. I don't know if you have ever seen this or partaken of this, but the experiment is called Gorillas in Our Midst. And there's two teams. One is dressed in white, the other one is dressed in black. And these teams, consisting of individuals, are kind of running around as they're bouncing a basketball. And individuals who participate in this exercise, they are tasked with counting how many passes members of the white team make. And so as people are walking around the screen and members of the white team and the black team, black dress team are passing the ball around, there's a gorilla or someone in a gorilla suit that walks right through the middle of this experiment, pounds on the chest, and then walks off of the stage or off of the screen. Now it's interesting because as this experiment has been conducted over time, what is remarkable about this is about 50% of those who watch this video never notice the gorilla. They're so fixated on the assignment. The assignment is to go out and to watch how many times the white team passes the ball. And I'll tell you, the white team passes the ball 15 times, if you ever go out and see that. But it's interesting, I was having even a conversation with someone in advance of what I was going to say to you today, and she was quite upset because when she had undergone this experiment, per se, she had not seen the gorilla, so focused on the task at hand. Now, I'm not here to ask you whether or not you saw the gorilla as you were here at Missouri Western State University, but I'm here to draw a parallel. Because during your journey, I bet that you were really focused on the task at hand. Your studies, your assignments, your work, your families. And as you're thinking about that, think about counting the passes as the knowledge that you have obtained. All of the things that you did. Really focusing on not only getting the high GPA that we talked about, but attaining the degree that is going to be conferred upon you tomorrow. But I hope in the process that you didn't focus too much. In fact, I hope as part of this exercise here at Missouri Western that was more than an exercise, it was a journey. I hope that you took the time to look up at what was around you. If you didn't, don't despair. It's evenings like tonight where you have the opportunity to look up and stop counting the passes. The homework is done. The assignments are behind you. The grades are on a report card, hopefully a very good report card. But take a moment, instead of focusing on the task at hand, the grade or the course, and actually be observant. Look at the gorilla in the room. No offense to any of you in the room, because you're not gorillas, but you are the ones that truly made a difference in the lives of these wonderful Missouri Western students. If you think about it, it was the family. It was the children. It was the grandparents. It was the support of those that you work with, colleagues, maybe friends. Probably was the support of wonderful faculty and administrators that helped get you through. So whether during your journey here at Missouri Western, you actually saw the gorilla or not, I know that you were focused on how many passes were out there, the knowledge. But I would encourage you to reflect over today and tonight and tomorrow and you go forward on the support and the assistance and the friendships. Focus on the challenges that you encountered and exactly what you learned. And as you move forward, please know that you are part of the Missouri Western family and that we will miss you. You are part of our family. I hope as we miss you that you will miss us and that you will stay in touch. Because collectively, as we move forward together, we truly have opportunities to make a positive impact in the world. Thank you for putting your trust in Missouri Western. We put our trust in you. I'm sure that you won't disappoint, and we won't disappoint you. Congratulations, graduates, and God bless. Thank you.
Excellent, and I can't help but think that I'm now going to watch for griffins strolling across the stage. And as we near the conclusion of this ceremony this evening, I want to invite everyone to join us across the hall in the Enright rooms, which is Spratt 214, 216, for a reception in honor of our newly hooded graduates and certificate recipients. Now, when this ceremony has officially concluded, we ask our guests to please remain seated until the platform party, the faculty, and the fall class of 2019 graduates have exited. You are then invited to join us for the reception across the hall. Ladies and gentlemen, it is our tradition at occasions such as this to sing our alma mater. So if you would, please stand and join us in singing. And you will find the words on page 7 of your programs. Congratulations to all of the graduates. your families, and friends. The ceremony is now complete, so it's time to let the celebration begin. Go Griffs!